Welcome to the PattyLynn Show. Tonight on the show, we're going to be talking about my thoughts about the Barbie movie. And I think that probably everyone's seen it by now, but we're going to talk about that, have some party tips, and as always, be with Mariah. So here we go. I got to take off my Barbie glasses, but I thought I'd wear them for a minute. Everything's too pink.
Is there such a thing?
Too pink? I don't know. Well, hello. How are you?
Hello, ladies.
So, Barbie movie. We've all seen it. Have we all seen it? So, spoiler alert, probably, but not really, because there's so much in there. I would love to see it a second time, so we'll have to do that. But anyway, I am so happy to be here tonight. It has been a busy August day for me. We're having record heat. It's kind of down a little today, being only 91 or something. I mean, it's been up there. So, how's the weather where you are?
It's, you know what? It doesn't feel very hot because we just got back from Florida.
Oh yeah.
So. Okay. It feels pretty good. Everyone's saying it's really hot, but I'm feeling pretty good.
Nice. Yeah. Well, and tomorrow morning, I'm getting in a car and driving to your house.
That deserves pom-poms.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Wait, I was not ready for that.
That's my fault, but I'm so excited. Yay!
Yes, we are so happy to not just be on the phone and Zooming, but be in person. And that is one of my love languages, is the in-person time together. So, and just, being with a friend. So we look forward to that, Mariah. But tonight we are together virtually and get to talk about some things. Before we get started, I thought we would do a conversation card, and then we'll get to our topic. And then I do have a party tip with PattyLynn.
Right. Make sure you guys leave your comments to the answer the question in the comments. Yes. We'd love to see you and hear from you.
Oh, this is always so confusing, these cards. Oh, well, here's a PattyLynn question.
Yay.
It says, what kind of party would you throw if you had an unlimited budget?
Oh, I love that question. Good one.
Well, mine would be on location somewhere tropical.
Ooh, yes.
With all my friends.
Yes. I actually am currently planning mine right now. I want to do some major slumber parties. So, I've been talking about that forever. I want like full on 80s, girly, fun slumber party. Like
I want to go to there.
Yeah. All the fun music and games and heck, pillow fight. I don't care.
Yes, so fun.
Yeah.
So fun. Yeah, we were starting to plan one once, and then I think it was COVID. And we're like, we cannot get everyone together. We were so sad. But yeah, we can. So unlimited budget. Yours would be the big birthday slumber party bash.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Make sure you put your answers, ladies. We want to hear from you. And we can't see who's on, so make sure you say hello, pop in. We want to hear from you.
Right. We do love that chat.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having some in-person things coming up. You have some Utah craft night.
Yep, next week. Yep,
nice.
Craft night.
And here we have a craft night coming up, which is at the end of September, a pour paint night. So we get to pour some paints and make some designs. So that's going to be fun.
Sorry, I got distracted. I just realized we're on LinkedIn instead of Facebook. Oh, well, that's okay. Hi, LinkedIn.
So maybe we'll find some new viewers, maybe.
That's right. I love it.
All right. Well, I think that all of us who watched the Barbie movie We're expecting a real good ride with the pink and the silly and the choreographed musicals and everything. And we're surprised by the deeper message. And so the two messages really were Barbie's it is impossible to be a woman. And then Ken's is he can-nough, And really for Barbie too, I think this movie really resonated with men and women, or women and men. We expected it to resonate with women, but surprisingly, there was Ken's story. And some of us are going to relate to Ken, and then Ken, and Ken relate. I mean, there's crossovers in these plastic stereotypes, right?
Literally
plastic. And I think that one of the big criticisms of Barbie over the year is her unrealistic figure and beauty and stance. And as a kid, I never thought that. I mean, I wasn't driving a pink car, and it's just that kind of a dream world, dream house, dream world, fun. My mom talked to me about it, I think, and we took Barbie's measurements, and they were 4 inches, 1 inch, 2 inch, or something like that on the little Barbie doll, and she's like, can you imagine if we expanded that to human size? And so then we did like the math and realized that really you'd be way out here and way in there. There's no way that, so, my mom, even back in the 70s was, addressing, it's not realistic.
Right.
That, you will have a figure, but it's not going to be Barbie. And so I don't know how she was ahead of her time to talk about that, but
I love that.
I don't know. I can't remember what our conversations were.
And I loved it too, in that it did show those two extremes, but yet it brought it back to where I think its idea, maybe it didn't get quite there for some that I've talked to, it didn't, but that we, many of us need to know that we're enough. And then many of us also need to know it's okay to not be perfect.
Yes. And so I just really been thinking about this, and I want to get my husband Ken the shirt that says I'm Kenuff, because it's so funny. I don't know if he'll wear it, but I'll wear it. It's so funny. But really, what does it mean to be you are enough? And I actually printed out the monologue that Gloria did. And the way she presented it was almost a matter of fact, it is impossible to be a woman. And that's why I want to see it again. I would just watch that clip. I probably eventually it'll be on YouTube and we can just watch it. And, I just think that it wasn't an anger.
Yeah.
It wasn't given, like sometimes, we can get probably righteous indignation, but, we can get really, angry at things. But it was just like, I don't know, you have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. I mean, so that's just part of it. And you're just like, exactly. And I've always tried to be almost, say what's true and say what I'm thinking. And so I have said before, I want to be thin. People, you want to be healthy. No, I actually want to be thin, and then whether that's a good goal or not, it's not, right? I want to feel good in my body, and I do want to look good. I think that's okay. But, it's not that I just want to be thin. And it's not that I look at a thin person and think the skinnier, the better. I don't know. Remember when I was growing up, they said you could never be rich enough or thin enough, right? And it was just ridiculous. It's like, no.
You can actually be too thin. I've seen people who don't look healthy because they're too thin. That's I loved that speech. I wanted to get up and just like, yes.
And I wanted to rewind it and hear it again. It's just, and but I really like the way it was. I mean, she who is the actress? America
Ferrara. She really
delivered it perfectly.
Ooh. I get chills even just talking about it. It was so good.
I know. So I'm not going to attempt to deliver it, but I'm sure it'll be on YouTube soon enough.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen it.
But the message the message that it's impossible to be a woman also is saying you are enough as you. And that was also Ken is enough, right? So I wanted to talk a little bit about what does it mean you are enough? And enough is, like the dictionary would say, as much as is required. Have you had enough? That's what's required. It's enough, right? And so only you really can determine for yourself what is required of you.
Yeah.
But that it really doesn't matter, who you are or who you know or the accomplishments that you've had. You don't need to be rich and famous. You don't need to be thin and whatever standard of beauty. Being enough is not based on these things.
Yeah.
Some people, it's really a feeling of worthiness. So it's not just, when you say, are you enough? And it's a human problem. It's a universal problem to not feel like you're enough or to have feelings of unworthiness or low self-esteem. I mean, that's something that we all deal with. Even the most confident person is going to have their times of feeling not enough. And even if they're thin and rich and have a big degree or a fine career, they're still going to have those times of feeling I'm not enough. So how do we face that and overcome it? Because it's not a place we want to stay.
No.
So accepting yourself as you are, that you are actually good enough. You're enough and you're good enough and you're equal to everyone. There's no one that's better than you. We all have the same value as humans. And often what kills it is comparison. Because if you say enough compared to what, or compared to who, or by what standard. And so when we look at, I think for our generation now, the social media, probably ever since TV in the 50s, right? That somehow a fake life is portrayed. And I know people are trying to be authentic and themselves on social media, and I love that. But what do we post? Even if we're trying to be authentic, when I want to take a picture of my darling little living room, I'm not going to do it when it's messy. I might do it when it's not quite perfect, but it's not when it's a wreck that I think, oh, I should post this,
Right.
I know some people do. Some people are really good at that. But usually we're posting our best and most exciting moments.
Yeah.
And if you just measure your everyday up and down life with all the bests and most excitings, then you're going to feel like you come up lacking, that somehow your life is enough because you're comparing it.
Uh-oh. We got to pause. Hopefully we'll be done in just a second. Hey, ladies.
Okay, are we back?
There we go. We got to pause. I was just going to say, will you tell us in the comments what your enough is? I feel like it's a lot like defining your success, but also defining your enough. What is that for you? I love that.
Yeah. So,
I was going to say, go ahead and keep going. You cut out there. I don't know where, but.
Yeah, we're kind of cutting out. I don't really know what it is. You're off and on too. So I'm hoping.
Shoot. All right. Well, just keep
I'm just going to keep going here. See how it comes.
Yep.
But really, do not compare yourself to others. Just really cut out the comparisons. Especially the body image. We're all made differently. We're all different heights and sizes. And I remember as a kid feeling bad about my big feet. And I think, my mom finally said, if you had size 7 feet, you were a tall person, you would tip over. You need longer feet to support your body. You're just right for you. Right. And like, okay, but I really want size 7 feet like everyone else. But, apparently it's just right for me.
Yes.
And but they're not you, and it's not fair to others or to yourself to do these comparisons. And comparison really steals your joy, and it keeps you from you're looking out, and it keeps you from seeing what's unique and special about you.
And I mean, what's crazy about that too is everybody else is doing the same thing, right? You might be comparing someone to someone who's also comparing to you. So like, it's this really weird cycle.
My mother, My mother said when we were growing up, you girls, you each are jealous of each other. You know, I think Pamela is so wonderful and Penny's so wonderful and they think PattyLynn so whatever. And so, you know, I mean, we all were looking at the other person. She said, I just want you to know what's special about yourself, you know, that not just look at what's special about your sister, but really know what's special about you.
Oh, your mom really did have some great wisdom.
I know. This should be the mom show. I was going to write a book, but I wrote a whole bunch of stuff down. I never wrote her book, but
oh, I love that. You still should.
Still should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but another thing with social media is not just looking at their life and comparing it to yours, but also looking for that approval of others. That the approval of others becomes so important to us. Who are these people that get to say how great we are, right?
Yeah.
No, they don't get to say that. And so our worthiness is not based on if they approve of us, whoever they are. And
right.
really, we have to let go of disapproving people. I have some that are stuck in our lives, and we can limit or maybe set boundaries. But our director's talk was just on setting boundaries. Yes. But if you can let go of those disapproving people and find those who accept you, then that's what we need to do.
Awesome.
So when we feel unworthy, it limits what we're able to do. And some people think, if I feel like I'm good enough, I'm never going to strive for anything. But it's actually the opposite. So feeling like you're not good enough can limit what you're capable of doing. And we all have this BS, a limiting belief system, right? The belief system that we've picked up either through childhood or young adulthood. And we have these messages in our heads that are not true. They're BS. And we need to let go of them and then replace them with something positive. So we've got this, maybe a message that we picked up from a disapproving aunt or someone who said, you know, you really need to lose a few pounds, you know, or whatever, you know. Yeah. It's going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Or if you get your college degree, you know, then you're worthy, which I probably put that one on my kids because that was important back then. Get any kind of degree and write it on your resume. And so I probably loaded that in there. So not worthy. You know, we all have those things, but or if you own your own home. So things that you've picked up that are a way of valuing your life and yourself that you can let go of. You don't have to have those anymore. You know, and just to really, you know, what am I thinking here? Okay, is that reality? Do I have what contradicts that? What's proof that that's fake, right? So then really replacing those with affirmations, positive things like, I'm kind of going out of order here. So I was looking at, what was I going to say? But
that's okay.
Power, right? The power over your thoughts and emotions, you know. Reframe it, be kind to yourself, give yourself that, you know, I'm doing great in this situation. Or maybe another part is accepting your flaws.
Yeah.
So I think let me hop back to like mindset.
Yeah.
So your mindset, the big perception, and that can affect your feelings of worthiness and your feelings of joy, right? Your mindset makes self-worth conditional, right? And the change is that you are enough and that just come as you are.
Yeah.
Just accepted, show up, right?
Yes.
And, I like the quote from Psalms, you are beautifully and wonderfully made. And I've used that with a lot of teenagers, that you are beautifully and wonderfully made. And also, just like diamonds hidden in the mountains, you have those special talents and things within you that you can discover and find out more wonderful things that are already in you.
Yes.
Yeah. And, you're unique human, not like anyone else. And also just see yourself as that person who's trying their best, doing their best. And there are challenges, and you will have successes, and you will have failures, and that's part of your journey. And the main thing is to learn through those, which I always hope I can learn through my failures, because I don't want to repeat them.
Yes.
I want to learn.
Yes.
I don't like failing.
It's okay. It's failing leads to learning, right?
Yeah. And forgiveness is big on that. That you have to forgive yourself for decisions that you might have made in the past, actions you've done, even lifestyles and habits, or, if you were a pattern of life that you were doing that, some of it's not your fault. Just forgive the situation. Maybe you weren't aware, but some are things maybe you consciously did. And you can give yourself that love and respect that you would give a friend, and forgive yourself.
Yeah.
And then let it go. And this is hard, but essential. You can't change the past. It's your journey, and it's a lesson for the future. It's part of your story.
It's good. I always think about, when we talk about you are enough, I think about my dog Snuffleupagus. Snuffy. She lays here on the ground upside down, not graciously at all, just like laying there all spread out. And what do? I'm like, oh, you're so cute. You're such a good girl, such a good dog. And she's not doing nothing. She's just being her. She is enough as she is. And I always think when I watch her there, I'm like, man, I want to feel enough like that. Where I'm just being me. There's no requirements whatsoever, except for the ones I put on myself, and just feel like I'm enough.
You're enough. We're fluffy and we're enough.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. And we should treat all humans like that, right? Just like we would a cute little dog. Well, you're a wonderful, unique, beautifully made human.
Yes. Yeah.
And I love that we're all different and unique. And we all have our own strengths and talents, and we work together in a group. We fill in the voids, and we make a perfect, community. We can make a perfect community working together with different strengths and things.
Definitely. Awesome.
Yes. Okay. I got more, but I think we should do.
Yep, I'm ready.
Party tips with PattyLynn.
Yay!
Hey, oh, wrong page. Where's my party tips? So I'm going to talk about being a good host. So I can't remember if I did this one before, because we did being a good guest. And I know what I'm doing next month.
I'd say just go for it. Don't worry about it.
I don't think we did host. I don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
So let's say you're the host of the party. So how do you be a good host? Well, the first thing is to figure out what kind of party you want to have. And so, what do you want to do, when and where, and kind of get an agenda. I used to plan teen nights that were kind of like a teen slumber party thing that was all night, but nobody slumbered. And I had games all night long, right? But you gotta have a plan. So get your agenda and then plan your people. So now who you're going to invite. It's kind of fun to mix groups. So maybe some friends from work with your girls in the neighborhood, or, or you're just going to do couples or a ladies' night out, or families or kids. So kind of figure out who you're inviting, and then invite. And that does not have to be fancy. Phone call, text. I like those apps where you can type a little invitation and text it.
Yes.
I don't mail invitations. I know kids at school sometimes still pass out invitations, so that's, pass them out. And then just make sure that you give them all the info they need. So what is happening when, where, if there's a why, if there's a something they need to bring, if there's a dress code, like for the Barbie movie, we all wore pink. Here's my pink sparkle jacket. Or
Love it.
Is it a, dress up party or dress down party or whatever. So then when you're planning for, let's say it's at your house, do you want any decorations? And you don't have to go cuckoo over decorations, but it's nice to have something.
You say that, I'm like, yeah, right.
Cuckoo.
Right. You don't
know. If it's, a little more elegant, you could do a bouquet. You could do balloons for a birthday, And then I always say, clean your house, but don't stress about it.
Yeah. Because
nobody cares. You want to have a clean bathroom, clean kitchen, of course, and clean off your surfaces. I always do someone's coming over, the stash and dash, right? Uh-oh, clean the house.
Yes.
But it doesn't have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so plan your food, then go shop for food, prepare any food. And there might be things you need to do when people are walking in. Like if it's pasta night, you might need to be boiling the noodles because you don't want them to sit around. But anything you can do before, and there's some great cookbooks for that. The Plan Ahead cookbook I have, or, so there's some great cookbooks that really help you with that, or probably nowadays online, you can find that. But just think through, what can I do before so that I'm ready to go and I can really enjoy the party myself.
Yes.
So I just got a warming tray, so that's fun. But crock pot keeps food nice and warm, or the oven set to keep warm, or whatever that oven setting is.
Yes.
Now, what I like to do the day before is either call or just send a text saying, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I can be a forgetful person. Even something I planned for a long time, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, is that today? It's ridiculous. It's one of my challenges in life. I used to have my hairdresser call me. I'm like, can you just text me before our appointment? Because I don't want to miss it. And it's in my calendar. But also I could miss it, or set an alarm. But, what I like is a subtle reminder. Just, hey, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And then as your guests come to the door the day of, greet them, tell them where to put their coats, alleviate their worry about shoes. Say, oh, we just wear our shoes, or you can take them off or wear them. It doesn't matter. Or please take your shoes off so they know. Because people are worried about that.
Nobody likes to be left guessing.
I see it both ways. And I understand the shoe thing. But I also feel like when you have dogs who walk around outside and walk around inside.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll probably, you feel different if you have a baby on the floor. Then you want to sanitize your floor. Yeah. Or if you're sitting around watching a movie, then you clean the carpet really well so that everyone can sit on the carpet.
Situational.
But as your guests arrive, just give them the lay of the land, You put your coats here, the bathroom's here. This is what we're doing. We're having, drinks and appetizers are in the kitchen. So get your drink and sit by the fire. We're going to have dinner in 30 minutes. So, so kind of give them a heads up. And then, feel free to mingle with your guests and make introductions. Make everyone kind of feel at home. You might have a game that's going on, or just, I think a drink and some apps is good.
Conversation cards would be great to hand out. Like, hey, go ask people this question.
We love our conversation cards, don't we?
They're great. Yeah.
And then at eating time, you can do any kind of buffet. You can have big bowls of food on the table and pass them around like family style. I think nowadays people do a lot of buffet style, And then after dinner, don't worry about doing all the dishes. So I say rinse and stack. You clear the table, rinse and stack. Just cover and put the food in the fridge. someone's going to volunteer to help. And I say, accept help. Just thank you, yes, and give them a chore because they want to help. And then you want to get back to the party.
Yes.
Right? You can have containers or zip bags to toss the food into, or just, like I said, just cover it and put it in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
And then after dinner, you can have a game, or, let's all move to the living room. We're going to have dessert and some decaf coffee, something to do. Maybe you make your own dessert, like a sundae or something. And then always just be in the lookout for someone off by themselves. So, do they want, maybe they are comfy with that, but maybe they want to be pulled into conversation. Everyone likes to feel noticed, even a shy person. So you might not pull them into a conversation where they don't want to be, but just, acknowledge them and, make, graciously as the hostess, you want everyone to have a good time.
Yeah.
And
that could be a personality thing too, but you're right. Absolutely. It's good.
Yeah. And you probably know your friends.
Yes.
Now let's say it's 9:30 or 10 or 11 and you just won't leave. Have that happen before. This is a compliment, right? They love your house. They're having such a good time. They don't want to leave, And so you can try a gentle joke or be upfront. Now I'm a party girl and a night owl, so I usually blame my husband. Hey, we can stay up all night, but you know what? We got to shut it down because Ken is turning into a pumpkin. He has got to get to work tomorrow, and but let's do this again soon.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's get your coats. Who wants to help clean up the game? Sometimes you have to be more blunt, especially when we had a lot of teenagers.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun, and I hate to say it, but party's over. Yeah. Thank you for coming. You guys made it such a fun party. We don't want to leave, but we must.
Yep.
So, and then do it again.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
So that was it.
Yay!
How to be a good hostess. Party tips.
Woohoo! And just before so I don't forget, we did have someone say hello. I want to make sure I show it. Hello. I don't know who it is though. So if you're still there.
Yes, on our screen it says
who it is.
Facebook user.
Yeah.
So you have to say your name. It's funny. So we know.
Unfortunately, it is one of StreamYard's weaknesses is we don't know who anyone is.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I have a few wrap-up things. You are enough. So just jumping right back in, do you remember when we had the word flossom? I mean, it's not just us. It's,
Yes.
So accepting your flaws and knowing that you're awesome anyway, right?
Yes.
And that's part of you are enough. It's not saying you're perfect. You're flawsome.
Yeah.
So just really knowing that you accept your flaws, even though we work to change them, we accept where we are, and and some we can't change. I often mention my flaw, which is my problem with time and dates and things like that, right? I mean, I talk about that a lot, and it's an actual disability. It's dyslexia, and then later in life, I found some of my quirks are actually ADD. I just thought I was quirky, but I'm like, oh, I actually have ADD. But you know what? So some of the things I accept. I mean, I accept them, and some I'm trying to change. Mm-hmm. Okay, all of them I'm trying to change. Of course, but some you just live with.
Yeah.
Like leaving the cupboard doors open. I was reading that's part of ADD. You want to see where everything is. So you leave all your cupboards open. Drawers are open in my bedroom. Cupboards are open. Why? I don't know. I'm accepting it. I also try to close them, but really just accepting it. And then gratitude, being grateful for who you are and where you are and what you've got and what's in your life, and really confidence. That gratitude brings confidence, and confidence brings those good feelings, which can lead to happiness and joy.
Yeah.
Right. And seeing your failures as those steps in life's journey that we are learning from. right? And just moving forward in your best life.
Yes.
And just accepting that you're enough is empowering and helps us be strong-minded. So you make up your mind you can do it, and self-accepting. It's deep within you. You're embracing who you are, and then empowers your decisions, not always looking to others' opinions, and then just embracing your life as it is.
I like it. All right.
So,
those are perfect.
Yes. So to our audience, you are enough. You are loved. You're beautiful, wonderfully made. And, my hope is that we all come to accept that within ourselves.
I love it. Awesome. All right. Can I share about a couple of things that we have going on? Awesome. So, gals, we are going to be in Dallas in October.
Yes.
We are going to be at Verve by Suzanne Castle.
That deserves a this.
I know. I agree. Woohoo! And I believe she only has a few tickets left. But let me tell you, the women in this room are going to be high connectors, women who want to do so much more with their lives. And the idea is that we are going to be coming back with a major launch pad actually for next year, for 2024. So starting that early, though, so that we're going into the new year rolling, right? Yeah. And so we're going to be there, all of us directors. We would love to invite you to be with us, you gals. I'm going to put the link in. It's actually a really terrible link. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I'll see if I can find a better link. But, oh, yeah, that's not going to work. I will put it in the comments later. But if you use the code GALS, you actually get she said $140 off. I thought it was only $100. So even better.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I don't think there's very many seats left. It's October 20th through the 22nd, I think.
In Dallas.
Yeah, in Dallas. So it'll be really fun. And then we already talked about the events coming up. I think that's it. I think that's all of it.
Yeah. Exciting things going on.
Yes. So. All right.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. And until next time, bye.
Bye.